guys, I thought I would switch things up a little bit for the blog this week and share an interesting study that I heard about from Dr. Robin Berzin of Parsley Health about the concept of biohacking. Now, you may have heard a little bit about biohacking, especially in the health and wellness space recently. Maybe you thought it was a kind of a weird concept or a weird name and thought it was a little bit cuckoo or out there. Essentially, I'm here to demystify the concept of biohacking and how we can use it to lead healthier lives. So what is biohacking? Simply put, it's the principles and practices we use every day to lead healthy lives. We're all biohacking all day long without even knowing about it. From the foods we eat, to the stress level we carry, to the amount of screen time we have. Those are all small habits that we do throughout the day that determine the health we carry throughout our life. Unfortunately, a lot of us are biohacking our way in the wrong direction. We're kind of shutting off that light switch on our health and biohacking our way sick. On average, the average American consumes, I believe it's 72 pounds of sugar every year. That's a lot of sugar. It's approximately 92 grams of sugar per day. In addition to that, alcohol consumption has also increased by around 11% in the past 10 years. And this one was a big one to me. The average American sits at a desk or on a couch in front of a screen around 11 hours per day. That's a lot. So really, what all does this mean? How is this making us sick? So 50% of Americans actually will struggle with a chronic health issue. 1 in 3 Americans will have diabetes by the year 2050. Around 28 million people struggle with some heart disease, and that's just the people that have detected that heart issue, not the ones that haven't detected it yet. On top of that, 1 in 4 deaths is caused by cancer. And the sad piece with that is 45% of cancer is actually preventable. So what all this means is we're biohacking our way sick in the wrong direction. So how are we doing that? What are the biohacks we're using that are moving us towards illness? So the first culprit that we'll take a look at is sugar. We talked a little bit about it before with the amount of sugar we're consuming. But really, why is sugar something we need to pay attention to, right? Why do we need to watch our added sugar intake? The first thing is with the insulin that it creates. So eating sugar increases your insulin, which actually increases the amount of fat that you store. Eating excess sugar actually decreases the hormone leptin, which decreases your satiety or your satisfaction. So you're actually eating more. So we're eating more and more, and we're eating more and more sugar. So with all of that, apart from the known issues, or I guess the common issues like diabetes and increased blood sugar, sugar is actually one of the leading indicators of dementia, heart disease, fatty liver, even depression. I thought that one was pretty interesting. So the first way that we're biohacking our way sick is the added sugar that we're eating. The next culprit that we are doing to biohack our way sick is with our sedentary lifestyles. So as we talked about a little bit earlier, around 11 hours we spend in front of a screen, or essentially sitting. I know a lot of us don't have treadmill desks. So we're working, we're sitting, we're going home, we're watching TV. Those who lead sedentary lifestyles actually have the highest increase of premature death. Leading a sedentary lifestyle, sitting a lot, actually increases your fatty food cravings, which also increase your insulin, which then again increases your fat storage. So the interesting piece about this is, even if let's say you sit all day, but you do work out for an hour a day, that exercise, that hour a day you're getting outside actually doesn't combat that amount you're sitting throughout the day. So in essence, to wrap things up, with sedentary lifestyles, 9% of early deaths are actually caused by sitting too much. We don't think about it a lot, right? I have a desk job. I'm at work. I don't think about it a lot. But sitting that much all day without getting up and moving just consistently throughout the day is actually leading to a 9% increase in premature death. So the third way that we are biohacking our way sick is through our microbiome. So our microbiome is essentially the trillions of bacteria that live in and on us that are essential for our immune system, our nervous system, our brain function, and really importantly, our digestion. So how we are destroying our microbiome is through a lot of the foods we eat, through the excess sugar, the processed foods, the products that we put on ourselves, through our lotions, our shampoos, the medications that we take that actually destroy a lot of those good bacteria, and the environment we live in. By depleting those healthy bacteria, we're actually increasing our inflammatory response, which has been led to or known to increase your chances of an autoimmune disease like celiac or rheumatoid arthritis or irritable bowel syndrome. So we know that by consuming a lot of sugar, by leading a sedentary lifestyle, by not having a really diverse bacteria in our microbiome, we're actually biohacking our way sick. So the good news. How can we turn that light switch back on and biohack our way healthy? Well, the first key feature is actually through the foods we eat, right? And the key thing that we really want to develop over time is eating plant-based paleo. Now that sounds kind of weird, right? How can you have plant-based and paleo? But essentially, a lot of us should be eating plants on a primary basis. Most of our plate should consist of plants. But we also want to make sure we're paying attention to things like protein, fiber, and fat. So protein is really important because it does help with your resting metabolic rate. So you're burning calories or you're burning fat, even just really by sitting there. It also helps with blood sugar and brain function. The next thing that you want to take a look at when you're looking at protein, though, is that you're getting it from a clean source. So whether that's plant-based or from animal sources, just make sure it's coming from a clean source. Second, after protein, we really do want to take a look at the fat we're getting. So that's from sources like your nuts, your seeds, your avocado, your olive oil. I know fat has kind of been demonized and we don't want to have fat. We might get fat if we eat fat. Well, fat has actually been known to help with weight loss. It's also really, really important for brain function and keeping us full throughout the day. The last one we want to take a look at is eating your leafy greens, right? So leafy greens really help with your fiber intake. In fiber, not only does that help keep you full, but it also helps with the good gut bacteria in your microbiome and keeping things moving. The other thing with greens is that they're a really great source of antioxidants. So diet, the way we're eating, the foods we're ingesting, that's the first biohack. The second biohack is actually through our movement. Unfortunately, a lot of us are kind of self-sabotaging ourselves with the way that we are exercising. Maybe we just go out for a run each day. That sounds kind of weird coming from a runner and someone who does run each day. But the key point is switching things up and not just doing one thing. So change it up. Incorporate exercises like yoga, Pilates, and walking. Overtraining syndrome is actually something that you can suffer from. And with that, you have an increase in cortisol, which actually increases your insulin, which we've talked a lot about, and increases your fat storage. So by just doing one thing and overtraining in one area, it actually can decrease your chances of weight loss if that's what you're looking for. In addition to incorporating more lower impact exercises and really switching it up, you also want to look at adding strength training around 2 to 3 times per week. So strength training, as we know, really helps with our resting metabolic rate. It also helps with bone density, memory, and actually even motivation. There have been studies shown that those who have done strength training roughly 2 to 3 times a week have actually had an increase in overall motivation as well. So the final biohack that we're going to take a look at is our gut. So we know that a healthy gut ultimately leads to a really healthy lifestyle. That's the key source. You want to focus on your gut. A lot of individuals are really only getting about 5 grams of fiber per day, where the recommended source would be about 25 to 50 grams of fiber. So again, incorporating really those vegetables like broccoli, those berries, those leafy greens, that's going to really help your gut health. High fiber foods also increase short chain fatty acids that help the gut lining and really protect that. It decreases your risk of having leaky gut, which is essentially when food seeps through those linings of your intestinal wall and actually gets into your bloodstream. So increasing your fiber. Another way for gut health is, again, coming back to sugar, decreasing that sugar, especially artificial sugar. I know we see on the packet 0 calories, oh, it must be great for me. But actually, even just a small dose of artificial sugar is very toxic for gut health and overall microbiome diversity. Increased alcohol consumption is also something that we really want to steer away from when we're looking for good gut health. Increased alcohol consumption actually leads to a condition called dysbiosis, which is a improper balance between the good and bad bacteria in your gut. So we've talked about how we're biohacking our way sick. And we talked a little bit about how we can switch that light switch back on and biohack our way healthy. So focusing on your nutrition, focusing on proper movement and switching things up, and focusing on having good gut health. Those are a few keys that you can implement into your lifestyle on a daily basis. The key is really having optimal health and living life to the fullest. So hope that helps, and I'll see you next time.